Hi, Arkansas softball fans. It is Joley Mitchell with a new head of hair. I got my highlights this week, so I'm super bright here in my ring light. Today, I'm here with Miss Marley Lancaster. I'm so excited to have her. Again, highly suggested to me, and been looking up some of her stats recently and seeing some of the cool things that she's done. Marley, please introduce us to yourself.
Hi, my name is Marley Lancaster. I'm the class of 2028 from Sheridan High School. I play third base and catcher or utility, and my travel team is Tulsa Elite 18U Jaramillo.
And Marley, I want to start off because I've I've been out of the scene for a long time as far as Arkansas softball, and so just hearing you guys' names is super cool just because I don't know who I need to be paying attention to, but I've seen some of your stuff recently and you are stunning. You're a stunning athlete, stunning
Thank you.
person. I want you to know that. And I always tell everybody that they have a fan. They have a new fan. It's always me.
Yeah.
Just letting you know that. So you were definitely highly recommended to me. And so this is your stage. This is your platform. Please talk to us about how you got started playing softball.
So I have an older brother and he always played baseball. And so I was always at the field growing up because we have a pretty big age gap. So he was probably in high school and I was around 4 or 5, and so I was just always at the ballpark. I always wanted to, like, play with him. I always wanted to be in the dugout with, like, his team, and so my dad just kinda gave me a softball, and I just started playing.
Yeah, I think that's super cool. Several people have talked about how it's like a sibling story, and my
Uh-huh.
siblings were also much older than me, and they
Yeah.
didn't play softball, and so it's interesting, like, how you fall in love with the sport and how the people around
Uh-huh.
you really influence you, and so mine, of course, were my best friends in kindergarten, and you guys, a lot of it is your siblings and your family, which I think is super cool, and it's super close setting for you guys because it's like you can share that with your family, and you always have that bond with each other. So I think that
Mhm.
that's super cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So talk to me a little bit about how you like what position were you in as far as how old you were, how good were you when you realized that this is what you want to do? You want to play later on collegiately, you want to be at the elite level. How did you
Mhm.
start falling in love with the game and when did you start realizing that?
So fun fact, I actually broke my arm doing gymnastics because I also play gymnastics, and I had a cast, and I still played in the game, and I was like, "I really like this, like, I'm, like, risking a bunch right now," and, I really just I was pretty good. I mean, I don't think I was, like, that great, obviously, because I was young, but when I did bad, I wasn't, like, mad at myself. I wasn't, like, satisfied with anything I did. Like, I'm not saying I had, like, a bad attitude or anything, but I wasn't like, "Oh, I did good this game, and now I don't have to practice the rest of the week." I, like, was constantly on myself to keep getting better, even if I was doing good at that time.
Yeah, first of all, you threw me with the gymnastics thing. I broke my neck just playing softball, so I'm just envisioning me doing gymnastics, which granted, I am a tall, massive human being, so it probably is not in the cards for me
Mhm.
naturally anyway, which is fine. Um, that's so cool, and, a little bit of adversity, like, I feel like a ton of athletes that I've talked to on the podcast recently we all run into something, if it's injury, if it's, mental health, all of the things. There's parts of us who are always like, "Man, I don't know if, maybe this is not the path for me or maybe, softball just needs to be put on hold right now." And like for me personally, I was in college because of softball. I've been playing softball since
Mhm.
I was 5 and that got me where I was and opened up several opportunities for me. And then when bad things just keep happening over and over again, especially when you're young and you don't really know how to handle that adversity, it is really challenging. And so kinda in those moments, like, were you able to, pick up some type of positivity that helped you? How did you get through that?
So my grandmother, she's my great grandma, she always came to all of my games, never missed one game, no matter what. Like, she hugged me right as soon as I got out the dugout after the game and told me, like, she was proud of me and that we could work on anything. And here recently, about a year ago, she passed away. And right before she passed away, she was just like telling me how she like wants me to continue playing softball and that like she'll always be here, like I can always, talk to her and stuff, and so that just, like, really, like, hit my heart, and I just, like I also wear a purple ribbon every game for her, and so, yeah, I just really, like, look to God and talk to her sometimes.
Yeah, it's those influential people, that have been a part of our journey that they really make a lasting impression on us, and so,
Mhm.
um, again, I think your grandma, I mean, that's amazing. I think
Yeah.
grandparents are just like my parents personally, like, they always held me accountable. My grandparents thought I was the greatest thing ever, and so,
Mhm.
it's really neat, like, when they got to come watch me play in Fayetteville when I was playing for Notre Dame, and so that was a really special moment for me, and I
Mhm.
believe it's the only time they got to come watch me play collegiately, and so, it gets harder for them as they get older, and so those moments are super fun to cherish, and, of course, carrying them around with you at all times wearing the purple ribbon. That's memorable, and I
Yeah.
really love that. That's amazing.
Mhm.
Okay, cool, great. A little heartfelt there. It gets me a little bit every time when somebody has a heartfelt story. Um, Marley, what is your ultimate goal as a softball player?
I really just wanna go to college. Even if I don't play when I get there, I wanna work my butt off and earn a position and get a degree and start my life in a Christian way.
I love that. What are you thinking? What type of path are you gonna go as far as your major?
I really wanna be an ultrasound tech or, like, a NICU nurse, work with kids, babies.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like most of us girls are kinda going the nursing route. I
Yeah.
decided med school was not the thing for me, so here I come nursing school in the fall. That's probably gonna be a new series. I'm just gonna mix everything and give a scenario like when this patient is going through this is actually what it is. It's bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, and you're down by 3 runs. I'm gonna have to start making up these scenarios just so that it
Yeah.
could be like a real world example to bring me back down to earth, and not everything's about softball. That's
Mhm.
awesome. If you could give any advice to yourself as a 10-year-old, what would you tell yourself?
Um, to not get mad at myself when things don't go my way. Like when I'm not doing good in the field, when I'm not hitting good, because it's a game of failure. You're gonna make mistakes. You have to flush it and go right back on the field or bat again. And you need to do better than you did last time, so you can't sit there and dwell on it.
Yeah, game moves fast. There's not enough time for us
Mhm.
to sit and worry about the things that we've already accomplished or the things that we've messed up on. We could just truck forward and be in the present moment. Yeah, I think that's super important. And especially, I watch a lot. I mean, I've watched softball growing up and then kind of when I got into college and I struggled, with my own health, my mental health and things like that. It was hard for me to watch softball. It's like when I left practice and when I left the game, like I didn't want any other part of it. I wanted to be done with softball for the day. And so
Mhm.
now I've actually really fallen in love with watching all types of softball. I love watching all the games. If it's super competitive, I'm definitely watching it. I was sitting in my living room tonight. I mean, obviously, I'm watching Texas, but even if it wasn't Texas, they're playing top 5 team Alabama. And so it's just
Mhm.
gritty softball. And, when you watch those teams, you see the players who stand out because they flush a mistake and the players that don't because it's like written all over their face when they make a mistake. So, super important. A huge reminder to all the girls out there playing softball that, it moves so quickly. The next pitch is in 20 seconds. So it's
Mhm.
best now to just flush it and to enjoy the moment with your teammates. I actually went to practice yesterday up at Pangburn and I ran the practice and I was just super grateful that they were open minded and all of the things. And one of the last things I said, because I kind of realized it as I was talking, the most enjoyable moments of my career were when I was just enjoying it with my teammates. It didn't matter that I went 0 for 10 in the champ series. It just mattered that we had that moment that we could share forever. We were the first national championship team with Texas, and that was the best week of our life. It was the last time that we were going to spend it together, and we all made the most of it. So,
Mhm.
really just remembering, the people around you really, really support you and, investing into them and taking away like all the negativity. The negativity is so not worth it. It's really
Yeah.
not. Like I look back on all the bad things that happened in softball and none of it is important to me. All of the positive stuff is important. So think
Yeah.
about that in the long run too. That's a huge message that everybody needs to hear. All right, last question. I always write I write in 5 words. I think there's been like 2 people who put it down in 5 words because,
Okay.
if my legacy could be a book, that's what it would be. Marley,
Mhm.
what do you want your legacy to be as a person?
Can I say like 5 words that I like characterize myself with?
Absolutely.
Okay, so first of all, strong, because I want people to know that I'm strong and I don't let little things get to me, because that's just not like the type of person I am. My work ethic, I love putting in work, and I just feel down on myself if I don't put in the work that I know I should be, because I want to be the best I can be. I'm very competitive about everything, and sometimes that's not okay, but in softball, that's actually really good because I need to be competitive and care about winning. I understand that like we need to have fun, but I'm also not gonna laugh if we just get our butts whooped. Um, Christian.
Heard that.
I want to walk in the Christian way because that's what I believe, and I think that that's just like a really big part of me. So I really just want people to know that it's like the number one thing. And then probably passion. I have like a lot of passion for the sport. So I want like other people to know that like I'm willing to help them and I'm willing to do whatever it is to like make okay, coming from a catcher's perspective, I like making really good friendships with my pitchers, not just like on the field but off the field because they get very used to me. And during the middle of the game, I talk between every single pitch because I want them to know that I got their back and like whatever they do, it's okay because I'm gonna be there for them and I'm gonna do whatever I can. The ball's not gonna get past me. I'm gonna talk to the umpire. I'm gonna do whatever I need to do for them. And I just really think making like friendships and stuff is showing passion because you're not just like, oh, I don't care. I don't care what we're doing. Like I don't care what you do. I'm just catching the ball you're throwing to me. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%. I always tell girls, some girls don't understand that, like, school, like, your grades are super important, and then I always say, I think that if you do one thing lackadaisically, you would do all things lackadaisically, and, they
Uh-huh.
always talk about do everything how you would do it, like, at your best all the time, and so a lot of people sometimes, like, in all aspects of their life, it is important for them to be passionate because they're passionate
Mhm.
naturally about their sport. They're probably passionate about a lot of other things. I'm the same way. I was extremely passionate about softball. I was
Uh-huh.
so worked up over how can I get better? How can I succeed this at bat? How can I make a trick play? Like, what were the things that I could
Uh-huh.
do? But then outside of that, as a person, I'm also like super emotionally invested in the relationships that are important to me. And I'm super passionate about learning, being right, which probably isn't the best thing ever. But I'm always trying to find a way for me to learn more, to just be a sponge. And so that
Uh-huh.
passion part is super important, just even outside of just being a great softball player. I think passionate people all the way around are some of the best individuals just because they do everything at 110%. So I
Uh-huh.
really appreciate you saying that. And I think that you should really work on and emphasize that part of who you are because I can already tell you're passionate. I mean, you share a story about your grandmother and how she always was just your biggest fan. And so even though she's not here, she's with you in your heart. And so
Uh-huh.
that's what passion is. That's you're passionate about carrying her with you by wearing the purple ribbon, by doing whatever you do in between games and just remembering in that moment, like, hey, she's here with me and I can remember that I need to stay present in this moment because she's got my back. I've got everybody else's back, right? So I think that's beautiful. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Marley, well, I mean, this was short and sweet, which I loved
Mhm.
because I think we got so much content in anyway.
Mhm.
Is there a burning thought that you have that you want to share with the Arkansas softball fans?
Mm, go 110% no matter what. Even if you're doing bad, even if you're having a bad day, no matter what, give 110% because not many people get to be on the field that you're on.
That's right. Don't take it for granted. You heard it
Mhm.
right here from this young individual who is wise beyond her years, clearly. Marley, we definitely appreciate having you and you sharing your
Thank
story
you.
and just being a part of something that's growing and super neat. We love having the girls on the podcast. Well, I do at least. I feel like I make friends every single time, and I'm very
Yeah.
grateful for that. So I appreciate you. And by the way, we were working around the schedule. This girl is busy, like I promise you that. So she's out there doing the work. Um, but again, thanks for being so kind, so generous, and giving us, the benefit of your story and your time, to share with the Arkansas softball fans.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.